BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi.
Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. Let's get straight into these charts then, shall we? Mostly just looking at Bitcoin, but then some of my favourite top caps, I suppose. The ones I'm most interested in, generally for decent risk to reward, so more likely to return than not return. I know that there's a million others out there, and most of them will probably do okay. But we're just going to look at these bad boys here. Right, so we've got Bitcoin daily. Effectively made a new low, really, on a candle body basis, not so much a wick basis, and still maintained some bullish divergence. The MACD is still below the 0 point by quite a way, and the money flow index turning up a little bit, which is fine. Now, we take it to the 4 hourly, rejection could easily happen ever so slightly above where we are right now. First major level for a rejection is 26,137. So if we do move up to there today, that'll be the first area where we'd expect a rejection. Momentum's still okay though. As you can see, it's not very pronounced, but it does exist. The bullish divergence on the RSI and on the money flow index on this latter stage of the pullback. And if we take it to a weekly, we're still hanging above only the 200 simple and the 50 exponential, which I probably would imagine gets retested at some point this month. The rejection from the 20 weekly was quite clean, so these are all things that we've looked at yesterday. And with that clean rejection, you should expect to stay below the 28,300 really, until further notice really. Breaking that area would be relatively bullish. Would break in bullish. The first time we would have broken out from the 20 weekly was all the way back down here at 18,500, and a nice retest of it down here at 19,800. So sometimes, keeping it simple is the best way to do it, and Bollinger Band strategy will tell you that whatever time frame you're on, you're 65% more likely to remain above that portion of the Bollinger Band. At the moment we're below it, and it's got a negative slope on it, so that pushes the resistance down with every weekly closure. So next week, tonight, we'll see a lower resistance zone. So currently you're at 28,142, and tomorrow it'll be a little less than that. So it's not a big deal though. Like I said, I made that video yesterday about the I suppose the long term in the context of a crypto cycle, which is obviously quite short term. The long term, these are all areas right now where we should think about dollar cost averaging and picking it all up. I don't feel like that is any different to what I've been saying for at least the last couple of months. With every major downside pullback, if you want to get your foot in the door, you want to buy, hold, and stake, whether it's altcoins or Bitcoin itself, then this is what you should be doing. This is it. The risk to reward at this level, even today, is pretty sweet. So just think about it in that context. If you're not into trading, you're not a trader, and you're looking to ride the cycle out, then every time we pull back, you go, yes, finally, okay, allocate another bit into that. So we're going to deploy some capital, sit back, stake it, and enjoy. But on the shorter term time frames, being the daily, obviously being below all major moving averages is not good. The same with the 4 hourly, pretty much below all major moving averages with a view to get rejected around there. And the best thing you could hope for would be another sort of large move up to only get rejected on one of these 200 simple or exponentials. Simple moving averages up at 27,779. Exponential is 27,387. Now, I love a moving average, as you all know. I think they're better than horizontals. Horizontals are good, diagonals are okay, fibs are perfectly fine, but moving averages, that's my bread and butter. And you can see the reasons why. I mean, perfect rejections on the move up here, 200 exponential, death cross retest, and then another leg up to the simple moving average and a perfect death cross retest on that one. So nothing different to, I suppose, what we were expecting, and fulfilling that usual criteria. When we're bullish, we break above moving averages and we get golden crosses, and everybody flaps about going, "Oh, it's a golden cross." I always say, "Yeah, we got a golden cross. Let's wait for the pullback to retest that golden cross to see if it's genuine, and that's where you buy the dip from, and that's where you take your positions from. it's exactly the same from when you're bearish. So yeah, that would have been, I suppose, a short. That's also a short, and you would have probably taken profit by now as well. Now momentum is turning up ever so slightly on this 4-hourly, but you know, on the higher term time frames, being almost all of them, I probably think it's not enough. That's not enough. The 1-hourly, I would say, actually looks okay as well. And again, you really know that we're bored out of our minds if we're trading on a 1-hourly chart or even making a video on a 1-hourly chart, because by the end of today it's completely irrelevant. But yeah, the 1-hourly chart, the Bollinger Bands have pinched. We are riding towards the top of it. You might see a pullback into 25,860 maybe, with a view to probably move up at some point into the 26,000. Again, we're talking baby steps really here, but this is exactly the same type of trading that you'd do on any of these time frames. You know, 1-hourly, 15 minutes, 1-hourly, 4-hourly, daily, weekly, whatever. It's the same thing. And so I probably would be looking for a move up today to only get rejected at the lower $26,000 zone. Everything on this 1-hourly chart points to a move like that of a measly 1.39%. So let's have a think about these altcoins as well, because altcoins, as much as I like them, they're going to follow Bitcoin and what they do. So Atom, a very brief overview. Atom back down within its descending triangle formation. It did surf it a little bit, trying to do something. It can't really do much on its own at this point now, and it came back within. So it's actually not a bad chart when you look at it. I know it's bad for price action, but it's good for technical analysis. So what is showing here on this daily, as you can see, is quite neat and tidy, and it's respecting supports of all different time frames and of all different kinds. So we've got horizontals, we've got the descending triangle, which is an important thing. We've also got this horizontal, which proved to be a support, and then a resistance and a breakdown point. So if that's the case, then the next major area is down here, and this would be like a major area for those who really want to pick up more Atom or any Atom at all. And it's down here at about 5, we'll call it 580, because you want to front run that ever so slightly, considering how bullish this could be later on down the line. So if we're just going to trickle down, I would imagine 580 gets tagged, and that would be a really good area to pick up some of this Atom, really. And Atom's got really good staking returns on pretty much most platforms. I do mine on SwissBorg, but I'm pretty sure you can get decent returns anywhere, really. So Atom, basically dribbling down to the 580 mark, where I suggest a decent bid. Chainlink, still at the $6 zone. This is where I bought it on this pullback here, on this dump, this pullback, this crash, whatever you want to call it. It's still a bearish chart, so yeah, as much as I like to see it sitting around at the entry point that I put it in at. And again, I'm not looking to trade this, basically just getting more of it, because I feel quite strongly about this giant accumulation zone that's been sitting for Atom. I mean Chainlink, basically, between $5 and $9.50. Yeah, more or less in the center range of this, and so I'm happy to buy it there. Given what I see here, though, as much as it wants to break this 10 exponential on a daily, which is better than a lot of these other charts, actually, we do have a fresh death cross, so you might see it move up into like 680 or something along those lines, maybe next week at some point, only to find a rejection and make its way back down to 6, and then maybe 550, and then maybe even 5. All of those areas definitely worthy of buying. Now, this is one of the OGs of the channel. People always question me why I bring XRP even into the equation, because people just don't like it. But personally, it's a good chart to trade. Now, there is a simple rule for XRP. While being above the 200 simple or exponential, you buy. While being below, you either buy because you're confident that it's going to reclaim it at some point, which you probably will, but you've got to be buying it for another reason. So we're below the horizontal, which is 51.5 cents, and the 200 simple and exponential, we're below those as well. The Bollinger Band center is 52.89. You know, while being below all of these areas, it's quite likely that we do come down further now. And I'll be looking at roughly around 45 cents, to be fair, to start with. And then obviously things will probably get a little worse, because we're being below all of this. Now, my catchphrase for XRP is "thou giveth, thou taketh away." I'm not going to get bullish on this until we've reclaimed and stayed above 51.5 cents, really, because that way we'll be above the moving averages and above that major horizontal, which is a significant one. I don't know why I've got Pepe up, to be honest with you. I'll just have a look at it. I think I was doing it for one of my Patreons, but yeah, Pepe trickling down, more than trickling down, going down to the max. I'm not a big fan of the way that this chart looks. It's not a very old chart, and it started with a massive parabolic run when it came onto these exchanges. So it's the prime example of thou giveth, thou taketh away. No, I'm not against it for what it is. It's a meme coin. Meme coins have their time in the sun, but looking at this right now, there's no sun. It's a total eclipse, and it's Armageddon really for it. But that doesn't mean that it can't recover later on down the line. But if you want to buy something like Pepe, you do it when the confidence in the market is at least stabilizing, I think, really, because this is where the crypto bros step in and pump these sort of charts. At the moment, the technicals don't really point to anything really. There's nothing more than just a little bit of bullish divergence. So long story short, the main focus is going to be on Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3 altcoins that I quite like. I'm not going to be buying any XRP. Obviously, I just trade that one. Chainlink and Atom, quite bullish on buying it long term, as well as a handful of others. But these two, particularly bullish on these long term. For investment purposes. So I do like to look at these guys, and as much as I have already I still own quite a lot of these. I'll be buying more of this on the way down, because I'm very confident that the crypto market is going to work out very favorably once again. That's why I made that video yesterday, to try and put things in context. But right now, I'm not really feeling too bullish on anything in the short term, and if anything, this is just an area now to start dollar cost averaging, buying Bitcoin, buying sort of reasonably decent altcoins, and staking them for a brighter future, which it definitely will. Right, 2 years from now, all of these areas, you'll look back at it and laugh. I remember in the last bull market when we were coming out of the first area of pump, so we went up to 14,000. I remember putting a like a, what do you call it, like a poll on my YouTube channel. I was just getting used to using YouTube really. I said, look, where do you think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to go to 8,000? Or do you think it's going to go to 6,000? And then it went down a little bit further. So then there was this big debate on my Telegram saying, I'm not buying at 6,600. Oh, absolutely no way. No way. I'm only going to be buying at 6,400. Now, if you think about that and you just rewind that and just think about where it went, and obviously even where it is now, you just think, what an irrelevant thing to talk about. A $200 gap, really, that we were debating, just absolutely means absolutely nothing now. And even a few years ago, absolutely, completely irrelevant. So this is why I think if you're not futures trading, if you're not completely skilled up and trading these charts with the finest details, then and all you want to do is buy crypto and wait for the parabolic run, then this area and anywhere lower is absolutely perfectly acceptable place to buy it from. I made the point yesterday of trying to explain, if you have a pension, like a workplace pension or just a pension in general, you top that pension up. If you do it on a monthly basis, it doesn't mean that you're catching the bottom every month, does it? That's not what it means. You're just buying into it because that's when your paycheck comes through, and whatever it is that you're putting through, like 10, 12, 15% goes to your pension at the end of the month. That's not because you're trying to catch the bottom. That's just allocation. That's just moving funds into indexes and ETFs or whatever. Because that's when the capital arrives in your account and you just put it through automatically. And over time, it matures. That's basically what we should think about with crypto and Bitcoin especially, but some of these top cap coins here. That's what you should be thinking about as well. Trying to get too clever and buy the absolute low, whether it's 6,400 or 6,600 in the last bull market dip. It's kind of crazy, really, because if you fast forward time from now, like 2 years, you'd be like, didn't really matter, did it? Didn't matter at all, did it? Should have just allocated funds into this casually and recognised that, where is the bottom? I don't know. Are we close to it? Probably are, within a 15 to 20% range. And that might sound quite a lot, but when you fast forward and you're looking at hundreds of percent up, you're like, what is 15 to 20%? It's nothing, is it really? And this is the risk to reward that you have to submit yourself to when buying into crypto. Right, I'll leave it with you there. It is Sunday. There's nothing much more to say. If you want me to look at any specific altcoins, then leave it in the comments in the description. I will definitely look at them, but I'll probably only make a video if there's something different about them. There are some things occasionally that are different, but not generally too much. Anyway, potential move up into the lower $26,000 zone today, only to get rejected. and probably fanny around sideways for what looks like, sideways and down really into the next few weeks. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.